Welcome to the workshop, the workshed. The issue that we're facing here at the moment is that my wife's laptop table broke on one of the connections, and it happened to be this one that's attached to the actual table. This had basically just cracked off. I've now been fiddling around with it a bit, working out the way that this needs to be reassembled, because I've done it before. And if you've seen one of my other videos before where I did a plastic weld repair, it's not the same one that broke. The one that I repaired before is over here and doing work, going strong. Because this is the one from the very top, which is the one that gets the most strain on it, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move that to this bottom hinge and switch this hinge up to being up in the top of the unit, so it's right up the top here. With this one, well, my wife found this piece lying on the ground, which is a piece that goes into here. Still missing a piece. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a repair using the soldering iron, and I've got some old black zip ties in here. I want to get this latch off here, and that's just done by, I got these tiny little tabs just here. You can see that, and that slips off. So that one's going to go into there, and then that part will go on this bit here. So I want to get this one off so I can put it into the top. And the way to do that, undo this little screw, and then the spring will shoot out of it. And so that's the unit that I'm going to be using up the top here. So I can essentially reassemble that. It just has that button in there. So now that latch is fixed, so it's going to be that spot there. That's going to be that leg there. Push that in. Press that tab back in, and now that's all good. So I might just reattach that to the table now before I forget and lose some of these little parts. Looks like I've done something to annoy the neighbour's dogs. Any little tool noise. Okay. So that's nice and strong again. And so what I'm now doing is I'm going to repair this so that it can go into this part and be the very bottom section of the leg, which doesn't get as much sideward pressure put on it. Might just move this out of the way so I've got more space to work. So the first thing I want to do is get this piece in and get that plastic welded. Maybe one of the smaller ones, a bit more manageable. So what I was trying to show before, you see that this piece my wife actually found amazingly in the dark carpet. So that needs to go into here because that has the little grippy lugs to grip onto the side of the other piece. It's going to go on here. What I want to do is just get that in place. Make sure I hold that nice and firm. This is cracked along the seam. And what you basically do and careful not to hit your fingers. Just get some of the plastic melted across it. Give it a bit of a chance to cool. And that's kind of like a partial hold. I wouldn't just use it like that. So I just grab my machine again and drill. And what you want to do is you want to get some other form of plastic. It doesn't have to be a zip tie, but zip ties are just handy because chop them off, what else are you going to do with them? And the zip tie is basically acting like the filler rod for a welder. Get that smoothed out a bit. Apologies for the rain. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this job, because I can't do much else. I want to give that a little bit of a sand. This little bit here, I want to get that off because that'll interfere with its operation. I'm just going to go over that a little bit more. And the plastic does set pretty quick. The first bit I did was more like a weld, where I was getting it into the crack. Now that I'm just sort of putting it over the top, just adding more material, it's more like a braze into it, I guess. So the other half of this is this bit here, where I actually don't have the plastic. I'm not actually sure because the piece that was there did have some of those little lugs on it. I can't add it to this picture because that section there, when these are assembled, you see there's two little gaps here. And actually take those two little gaps, this goes on that way, then it gets twisted around. Right, it hasn't been successful. The plastic isn't actually getting into this form here. Now I'm actually melting further into the plastic to try and do something without drawing the split. I'm going to be the first to admit that that's an ugly piece of plastic welding. I'm hoping that it actually functions. The other side is almost broken as well. The other part of this one is that we're having this lock in it. I'd like to try putting something there, but I don't think it's actually going to do anything structurally for this hinge. And that's got a fair bit of. So all that's left to do is this one slides into here, pushing this tab. That keeps that in place, and then that one just in. that this one is broken because of the outward pressure that can sometimes get. And now that this is down on this bottom one, it won't have quite as much pressure on it. And see how it goes. That's exactly what we did on the other side last time. That's the one that got repaired, and that used to be really right at the top. We'll see how long that lasts. So if you're like me, you really don't want to go throwing stuff away, and you think you might be able to give it a repair, this will work for a while. I've also been trying to find another laptop stand that she likes, and says she hasn't been able to, so if I can get this one back to her working for a while, she'll be happy.